The Gaza Strip currently has a sea, land and air blockade in place, and its citizens are barred from traveling in and out. Israel imposed the blockade in 2006 when Hamas took control of Gaza. The 44% unemployment rate is leading many youngsters in Gaza to abuse of opium-based painkillers. Our West Asia Bureau Chief Daniele Pagani is in Gaza, getting you this ground report.
Tramadol is an opium-based painkiller. It is used in hospitals all over the world to alleviate pain after significant surgeries. But in the Gaza Strip, many use it without prescriptions as they buy it from the black market. Tramadol has a similar effect to opium. It keeps you high and does not make you feel hungry or tired.
You don't even stay at home. You go in and out of the house. You feel very active. You work as if you were 4 persons. You do not feel tired. It gives you endless energy. It doesn't matter how much work you have, you always have energy. But after a period of time, you stop feeling the effect of tramadol and you start taking more pills to get the same feeling you experienced the first time you took it.
The problem is that tramadol is highly addictive. Once you start, you can never stop. We visited Gaza City's mental health hospital where some addicts are battling tramadol addiction. They asked us to cover their face and change their names.
I used to love tramadol more than my brother. I felt I had a stronger relation with tramadol than with any other human being. I started begging to buy it. I had a full-time and a part-time job at the same time, but 2 salaries were not enough to buy it. That's why I started to beg and steal.
In Gaza, people can buy the strongest version of tramadol on the streets. They call it Red Devil, due to the color of the pill. But there is no guarantee that the Red Devil is authentic. In order to earn more, criminal networks often make fake pills with a minimum quantity of opium. At times, they even use mice poison. But addiction takes over one's life, and it little matters what the pill contains. One simply craves for it. Many in Gaza ruined their families.
We screwed everything we have. I started selling everything I have at home to buy tramadol. I started selling my gas cylinders, my TV, the furniture of my bedroom. I started selling everything to be able to purchase tramadol. We reached the extent of starting to be thieves.
The World Health Organization estimates that there are some 10,000 addicts in Gaza. 2 million Palestinians inhabit the 40 kilometers long coastal strip. Israel and Egypt are the only bordering countries and impose a sea, land, air blockade on the strip. Israel sealed off Gaza in 2007 after Hamas, an organization that Tel Aviv labels terrorist, won elections and expelled militarily the Palestinian Authority. For normal citizens, life under the blockade is very tough. Half of the population is unemployed and live under the poverty rate. And the young population is affected the most.
Target group is from 22 to 35, mostly students and graduates, people who start looking for a job. It is the most sensitive time in the life of young people because they want to get married, they start to have more responsibilities, and he feels the pressure to start earning and making money.
The Gaza Strip has 6 mental health government facilities. They are simple structures where addicts can voluntarily go and try to get rid of their addiction. Many prefer to visit private doctors. But private treatment is expensive, and the widespread unemployment does not play in the patient's favor.
Many families don't want to go to government hospitals since they prefer to keep their children's addiction a private matter. In my private clinic, I used to receive many cases, but lately, due to the economic crisis, the number of patients decreased by 70 to 80%.
Laws regulating tramadol in Gaza are getting stricter and things are slowly improving. This also includes the bombing of the underground tunnels connecting the Strip to Egypt in 2015, the main smuggling gateways for tramadol. Now, medicines too are strictly regulated. Tramadol keeps being a problem here in the Gaza Strip. The economic difficulties and the blockade do not help the people to get rid of this very dangerous addiction. But authorities are clamping down and things are getting better. For instance, inside pharmacies like the one we visited today, it is a very strict procedure that regulates a tramadol. People can only buy tramadol if they have a doctor's prescription, and for every box of tramadol that is sold, the pharmacist keeps the prescription and keeps the box and will give you a new box only and if you come with the new formal doctor's prescription. And this is because for years the tramadol was also sold on the black market from pharmacies, and all pharmacists keep a precise record of all people buying tramadol. Therefore, authorities, when they come, and they do come inside pharmacies, they can check how much tramadol has been sold, who bought it and which doctors have prescribed it. Daniele Pagani in Gaza, reporting for Wion. World is One.
And Daniele Pagani is joining us live on the broadcast for more on that. You've been getting us a series of reports highlighting what life is like for the people on ground in Gaza, living in the shadow of violence, samples of their suffering highlighted in that report as well. Contributing factors to that abuse of opium-based painkillers being poverty and unemployment. Daniele, help us understand, in terms of your interaction that you've had with the authorities, the measures that they have been taking to try and tackle the issue.
Yes, so the addiction to opium-based painkiller is pretty widespread, not only in Gaza, but I would say in the totality of the Palestinian territories. Authorities are clamping down very hard, particularly here in Gaza, where Hamas declared publicly war against tramadol. Let's say that more or less 8 years ago there was actually an enormous epidemic of tramadol here, meaning that in every family a couple of members were addicted to tramadol. So in accordance with Egypt in 2015, all the network of the southern tunnels which were connecting Egypt to the Gaza Strip were either flooded or bombed. That was the main gateway for the tramadol. Tramadol follows the Egyptian route. It comes to Egypt and then through the Sinai Peninsula gets into Israel and into the Palestinian territories. As I said, every single pharmacist and every single doctor is thoroughly checked multiple times in a month. Authorities do come very, very often into their shop to check how much tramadol is sold and to track each and every container of tablets. Plus, the laws have become very strict. You can end up even being killed and hanged here in Gaza if you're caught with a good quantity of tramadol, but the minimum is that you will get jailed from 4 to 20 years. So things are slowly getting back on track, but economic difficulties never helps to fight addiction.
Right, Daniele, I'll just come back to you. That's, of course, one of the ways in which the people on ground in Gaza are suffering and dealing with their lives in the shadow of violence. But the Israel-Palestine conflict has also has had far-reaching impacts in terms of other areas as well. One such fallout of the ongoing tussle is that Airbnb, the home renting firm, is shutting shop in West Bank. Airbnb has said that they will be removing listings in Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. In the latest, Israel plans to consult with the United States government over the decision taken by the firm. Israel has called the move a wretched capitulation to boycotters, while Palestinians hail this as a step towards peace. Airbnb has said in a statement that they are removing listings to keep themselves away from the core of the dispute between Israelis and Palestinians. The decision, which will affect some 200 listings, would take effect in the coming days. Israel captured the West Bank in a 1967 war. Its settlements there are considered illegal by most world powers. Palestinians and their supporters had long lobbied to delist the settlements. Israel strongly opposes such calls for boycotts, which it considers a biased approach to the conflict.
The decision made by the administration of Airbnb to outlist properties in Judea and Samaria is extremely upsetting. It's upsetting because the idea behind Airbnb was to get people to meet people where they actually live, to understand their surrounding, to understand their needs, and to maybe understand even their dreams. It's giving in to extreme people who don't have any intention in promoting peace, but rather bringing people further away from one another. It's not going to promote peace, it's going to promote anti-Semitic decisions made by such an organization.
I think this is a very important decision because all settlements are considered illegal by international laws, and listing settlements in Airbnb, I think, was against international laws, because the international law states that all these settlements are illegal.
Going back across to Daniele Pagani joining us from Gaza. Daniele, this has of course been a development which has been making news for quite some time now. There have been several attempts that have been made by Palestinians for the firm to take that very decision. Help us understand the reactions that have come in so far. In the first few statements that have come in, of course, Palestinians are calling this a step towards peace.
In order to understand how big this development is, we need to understand what is the meaning of settlement. A settlement is a place which has been built recently in the recent decades on the basis of Jewish history. At least that this is what Israel tries to perpetrate all over the world. They say that these were their land and therefore they are entitled to build this settlement. There are 600,000 Israelis currently living in settlements coming from all countries, coming from countries all over the world. The Palestinians for decades have struggled against what they call an occupation, and the settlements are exactly the instrument of their occupation. It's the forefront of their struggle to see this settlement at least to stop. Furthermore, the settlements are with no doubt illegal under international law. So Airbnb maybe have not decided to stand by the Palestinian cause, but have decided to protect its own business from criticism. I can understand that the Ministry of Tourism of Israel declares that this is an anti-Semitic move, but certainly Airbnb is not known as an anti-Semitic company, and they simply decided to protect their business without entering into a conflicted area, into a conflict which has been going on around the settlement for decades from now.
All right, thanks very much indeed, Daniele Pagani, our West Asia Bureau Chief, getting us the latest from Gaza. Appreciate very much for joining us.